Hello and welcome to what is episode 3 of what I can now officially call Off-Channel Scan, which is an evolving series of videos showing applications that I use as a wireless engineer. And today we're actually not talking about applications, but we're going to be talking about webcams and webcam lighting for things like Zooms or webinars, or anytime you're interacting with customers over video. I recently got fed up with my webcam. I had a very old HD 4110, which was actually a 1080p webcam, but it really didn't perform well. Autofocus was awful. The low light performance, highlight performance was awful. It was just not a great product all around. I did a bunch of testing in my house and really found that I could improve things quite a bit with lighting. But then ultimately needed to upgrade my camera to get the performance that I was looking for. And even then, I'm still not happy. So we'll talk today a little bit about lighting first. Right now, I've got my webcam right on top of my first monitor. And then about 30 degrees off of that is what I have a key light. So that your primary lighting focus for your face. That is really just a little desktop lamp that's got a Yeelight smart bulb in it. It lets me dim it as well as change the color temperature and change the color. So if your face is especially red, that you can lean it towards a green to really take that away, make you look a little bit better. On webcam, some cameras just have a red tinge to them to begin with, so you can offset that by playing with the color a little bit. I've also got a window right next to me, which originally this was just wide open. I had a shade drawn, but it didn't block enough light to keep my entire face from getting washed out in white. So I've now got a decent shade on there. And I've blocked it even further. I'm going to be getting a blackout shade to cut it a little bit and allow me to control the light even further. Behind me, just my overhead fan that's in the room. I've got a couple of LED bulbs. They're relatively white LED bulb that I can dim from the wall. So it's a dim background relatively. And then I've got that key light coming onto my face, which improves things quite a bit, even in my old camera setup. And I'll show you some videos of that old bright versus old dim setup. And then ultimately, I did need to end up upgrading my camera to get what I wanted. I ended up upgrading to a Logitech StreamCam, which was about $160, but not too big of a budget breaker, which is why I ended up upgrading so quickly. This first clip shows the old camera after I had mostly fixed the lighting. I've made some other tweaks since then, but it really just shows how bad the autofocus was. The second clip shows the new camera with the mostly fixed lighting. Again, I made a couple of tweaks since then. Alright, one thing to consider is that once you've fixed your lighting setup, you really want to take a look at your camera settings. Mac users, you're kind of limited that there's one application in the App Store called Webcam Settings, and that is up here. That'll let you tweak some of the webcam camera settings from a variety of manufacturers, not all of them. Windows users, you've got a lot more options. That you've got first-party settings panels from Logitech and Razer and whoever else you're using for your camera. But this is with my fixed lighting without me having stopped the light coming in from the window. And you can see how washed out my face is, how bright everything is, how white everything is. So if you go into this webcam settings app and you swap over to manual exposure mode, if you're lit well, you do not need the exposure time way up there. So you want to tweak that down, and you can see, actually, gain is just massive. So we're going to pull that down first, and immediately, look at that. That is way better. You can actually start to see some color in my face, despite me being a very pasty individual. So just playing around with the exposure time and the gain, this can look way better, even if you've got a bright light on your face from from a window, or you've just got bright light in the room to begin with. If you're doing recordings, you can then edit this further in post-production. But looking at this, because I pulled down my exposure, because I pulled down my gain, the noisiness of the image goes down in addition to having better color and better light. you can then just save this profile, and I'm going to call this good with window. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to have that load at start at all times. So this is your little intro to webcams and webcam lighting. If you got any questions, you can reach out to me on Twitter at the CM Reed. Thanks for watching.